beautiful lovelies of the world, is me, Queen Nightmare, and... Wait a second. Did I plug it in? There we go. I plugged it in! Yay! Okay, guys. I'm going to read more Drarry fanfiction. Here we go. Love Potion in the Week of Obsession. Draco's POV. Note to self. When Pansy tells you to drink something, don't do it. Now, because of her, I have become increasingly obsessed with Harry Potter. The only encounter to the potion is he needs to love me back. If not, I will die. Okay, here goes nothing, I whispered to myself. I saw Potter walking past my little alcove, so I grabbed him by the robe. Before giving him a chance to react, I placed my lips against his and kissed him hard. Unfortunately for me, he shoved me and looked angrily at me. "What in the... Malfoy!" he yelled. "Sorry, Potter. I just need to kiss you," I muttered. "What in the... has gotten into you?" he snarled. "I see the way you stare at me and the glances. What, do you love me now?" "Yes," I said automatically, and he gasped. "What?" "I love you, Potter," I shouted at him. "What do you mean, you love me?" You hated me a few days ago," he sneered, and I ran a hand through my hair. "I'm dying, Potter. Unless you love me back, I will die," I told him, and his eyes widened. What are you, Potter Villa or something?" He asked, and I shook my head. "No, Pansy made me drink this potion, and it made me increasingly obsessed about you. If you don't love me back within the end of the week, I will die." I explained to him, and he blinked at me. He did that stupid hero complex, so I he had that stupid hero complex, so I could tell him he was decided whether to save me or let me die. "What do I have to do?" he finally asked. "Spend the week with me. Learn to love me. I don't want to force it just because you're saving me," I told him, and he nodded. "I'll do it." I laid in the hospital half wing, half coherent. Even with spending a week with me, he still didn't love me. "I'm sorry, Draco," I heard Pansy whisper to me. It was like I was in a tunnel, and she was slowly going through it. I wouldn't. It wouldn't. I wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop until I hit the light. "Draco, oh my gosh, I am so sorry," I heard, and then I felt a presence. It was Harry's voice. I knew it, because the pain in my chest eased a bit. "Harry?" I found myself mumbling. I heard Pansy get up and let Harry sit. Someone touched my hair, and it was Harry, because the pain dulled even more. "I'm sorry I left you. I need to go back to the dorm for just few minutes. I got back. They said you were taken away." "Hurts," I mumbled and started to fade more. "No, Draco, it's okay. I love you, Draco. I really do. Please don't die. Please," he pleaded, and I swooped down and pressed his lips against mine. The little kiss gave me a burst of energy that allowed me to kiss back. He pulled away and rested his head against mine. "I saved you," he said, and I rolled my eyes. "Shut up and kiss me again." He was happy to abide. Okay, sorry. Next chapter. Death Day and the Battle of Hogwarts. The title is a hint that won't be happy. You have been warned. It's gonna be triggering. Third person. He walked for miles. Hagrid did. With Harry in his arms, Harry Potter was dead for good. Harry Potter is dead! Voldemort yelled, those 4 words steeped through Draco in dread. He could be dead. He couldn't be dead. His Harry couldn't be dead. Aw, Malfoy. Come on, Malfoy. Are you scared? Potter teased him. He flashed that cheeky smile that always killed Draco. Me scared? Psst, he scoffed. They were forced to play 7 minutes in heaven, and Malfoy was stuck with him. He didn't want his first experience with Harry to be in a closet. Then just kiss me. No, Draco shook his head. Why? Harry taunted. Draco muttered something, and Harry rolled his eyes. What? I like you, Potter. I don't I don't want to do this with you in a closet for the first time. I have standards, he told me. He told him. Something flashed over Harry's face, then he grinned. Then what were you waiting for? We can leave the closet and go up to my room. How does that sound? He purred, and Draco couldn't help but smile. Brilliant. All right. So we've been together for 6 months, Harry started. Do you maybe want to take it to the next level? You mean, Draco trailed off and Harry grinned. Yes, Harry nodded. Sleepovers, Harry concluded. With pillow fights? Draco asked. With pillow fights, Harry teased, and Draco laughed, kissing his boyfriend's mouth. I love you, Draco, Harry told him. It was the first time, too, and it felt all warm and fuzzy to say it. Draco pulled away and nuzzled his face into Draco's neck. I love you too. Heart-wrenched sobs came from Draco as Harry tried to console his boyfriend. I didn't want it. I didn't, Draco cried as Harry rocked him. Shh. He brushed fingers through Draco's hair. I'm, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Harry's hand slid through Draco's left sleeve and gently placed his fingers on the forbidden mark. No, baby, I know, baby, I know, Harry assured. Don't work yourself up so much. I'll protect you even if it means me dying. In the process, you're the love of my life, Draco Malfoy, and this mark doesn't define. Just let out a few sobs and Harry promised, but Draco just let out a few sobs and held onto Harry tightly. Draco let the tears fall freely as Harry's body was dropped in front of the light. No movement from his chest. All the blood was drained from his face. Draco got on his knees and buried his face into his hands. As he left the tears fall. He couldn't help but feel good that Harry felt his promise. He kept his promise. Oof. No Scorpius. Cracked and pleading. Sounds like he's bleeding. I had to stop writing this a few times to stop myself from crying. It's really sad, so proceed with caution. Oh boy. Fifth year was hard for Harry. First, his friends turned their backs on him, claiming Voldemort wasn't back and Harry was just doing everything for attention. Secondly, Draco broke up with him because Voldemort was back, and it would be difficult for them to be together. Then there was Umbridge and her reign of terror. Lastly, Sirius died. Fifth year really got to Harry and in a bad way. Didn't want to go back to Hogwarts his sixth year. He nearly lost everything, so he didn't see a reason to go. Remus was appointed his guardian after the Dursleys renounced their guardianship of him. So Remus was his guardian and allowed Harry to visit the Weasleys whenever he wanted. However, he didn't realize how much Harry was suffering, how much he didn't want to go back. Sirius's death just as much as hit him just as much as his was. Sirius was the first father figure. It was like he lost another father. Draco noticed right away that something was off the following year. Harry wasn't eating his food, and, and a smile was missing from his face. Harry always loved Hogwarts. That was his home, so he would be happy, but this year was different. You all right there, Potter? Draco asked as they got into the hallway after dinner. Draco had cornered Harry to get his attention. Harry's eyes were void of emotion when he looked up. Not the time, Draco, he whispered, and I hope that you had a bearable summer. And with that, he walked away. After weeks had gone by, and Harry begged Remus to let him come home just for the weekend, but Remus told Harry he needed to stay in school. Harry re, re, retaliated by not eating and not going to classes. His education meant nothing to him anymore, or anyway. He anyway, he needed to defeat the biggest dark wizard out there. How would one find the time to study anyway? Harry, McGonagall says if you don't come to class, she's gonna come down here and personally drag you to Madame Pomfrey. Wait, let me reread that. Harry, McGonagall says if you don't come to class, she's gonna come down here and personally drag you to Madame Pomfrey. Hermione told him. He merely turned on his other side and sighed. Hermione left after that, and McGonagall broke her promise. The night Harry snuck out with his invisibility cloak, made his way outside. If Remus wouldn't let him come home, he'd just run away, and that's what he planned to do. He wasn't he wasn't home anymore. He was entrapped in a place filled with bad memories. Draco's POV. Everyone was gathered into the great hall on the Friday morning. Something was happening because Dumbledore stood at the podium. It looked like he needed to speak to us. Ladies and gentlemen, classes will not be in session, he announced as everyone got quiet. But before anyone could rejoice, he said, instead, we will have a school-wide search for Harry Potter. He went missing sometime between the late last night and this morning. Everyone, please get into groups and look around the school, the grounds, and Forbidden Forest. Forbidden Forest? My butt. You can't even pay me to go in that forest. I'm staying right here where there's food and there's warmth. If Potter wants to go, he can go. We tried to point me spell, but it was not work. It has not worked. He told us, and I shook my head. Dang you, Potter! After what after we broke up, I still care about him deeply. I decided to go into the forest alone, knowing very well that we used to go on dates in the forest. Oh my gosh. Why the forest? Forest? Forest. Why? Anyways, let's go on. I was making my way to my usual spot when I tripped on something. I stumbled and nearly fell, but I caught my balance. I looked around, and when I saw nothing, I almost panicked. But then I was struck with a thought and leaned down. I felt the fabric pulled, revealing Harry. He was skinny, very skinny, and I gulped. Harry? I croaked. I got onto my knees and next to him and gently supported his limp body. Draco, he spoke. Harry, you're okay. I'm gonna get you help. I went to put my legs fully under him, but he stopped me. No, he told me. He looked at me in with his dead eyes. I'm okay, he said. I don't feel any pain. What? Tears gathered into my eyes. I'm pain free. I don't hurt any more. He gave me a small smile. I shook my head. I knew in my heart he was dying in my arms, but I couldn't let him go. Harry, please, let me get you some help. Then I'll make sure you're always pain free. I begged him, and he just shook his head slightly. I'm sorry I failed you. Shook his head slightly. I'm sorry I failed you, Harry. I'm so sorry. I told him and started crying. I leaned down and kissed him. That's when he took his last breath and finally went totally limp. I held him tightly to my chest and allowed myself to cry. I lost him, and there was no possible way of getting him back. I'll always love you, Harry, I whispered to him. I lifted him and brought him toward the school, and Snape was standing there with Dumbledore. After I sent the sparks from my wand, they took one look at him and then to me. I couldn't save him. He he's dead. When I got there, I'm sorry. Something to make you kind of happy after all that. It was the author said, yesterday my manager at work made a joke about Harry and Draco being together. So I went on a rant and why they are good together, and she agreed with my reasoning. I blushed so much after my rant. OMG. I mean, what a good trooper. I am so happy. Man, that was a lot to handle. I'm sorry about that, guys. Guys and gals, and non-binary pals. Yeah, I just quoted Thomas Sanders. Don't judge me. Anyways, I'll do this last one. Yeah. Apologies and a forever soul. No, there's a second part. No. Oh my gosh, no. Please at least be alive. I want him to be alive. Part 2, the cracked and pleading, requested by a lot of you. Third person POV. They had a funeral for Harry a few days after his death. Remus was beside himself with grief. If only he had just let Harry come home. He could see how badly he needed help. But the funeral was a good one because Harry deserved the best. If only everyone could see that at the time of his life. But the question was, who would defeat Voldemort? The best answer to that was Neville, who stepped up to the plate right away. His parents were damaged because of the hands of the Death Eaters, and now one of his closest friends was dead. It was all too much. And that's what he did. With the help of everyone, he defeated Voldemort and multiple Death Eaters. He couldn't be more proud of himself. As for Draco, he had been plagued with nightmares since finding Harry. He felt that he should have done something before it. He should have known that the love of his life was suffering. He had. He should have done something before finding him, that when he was almost dead. However, one night he almost transported into the night full of terrors, but he was transported into a beautiful dream where Harry was alive and they were together. But you're dead, Draco told Harry softly. He reached out and touched the figure, pleased to find his hand didn't fall through. I know I am, Harry laughed. His eyes crinkled with in amusement. But you're not. I know that, Draco sneered. And Harry pulled Draco to him. He hugged him tightly. That means I can pull you into this room anytime I want. My soul is everlasting, which means I'm everlasting, he told the blonde. Draco snuggled into Harry's embrace, missing the comfort of his arms. I'm sorry, Draco told the brunette. Don't be, Harry scolded. It's not your fault. I miss you. I'm right here, baby, Harry promised, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm always with you. You're so brave, Draco. You know that. You're so brave, Harry told him. And Draco let out a sob. Shh, Harry rocked Draco back and forth, and he pecked his neck and whispered, As long as you're asleep, you'll always be in my arms, he promised. And if I'm not, Draco managed to choke out, then I'll be humping you without you knowing, Harry joked, and Draco chuckled tearfully. Harry's grip tightened in his living boyfriend. Draco? Yes. I'll always love you too. For the first time in years, Draco woke up with a smile on his face, and he turned on his side and looked at the empty spot next to him. Harry was with him, he knew, and for that he was forever happy. Wait a second, guys. Sorry, guys, I was crying. I didn't want to show you guys that I was crying so much. I don't want you guys to see me as weak. Thank you so much for being there and supporting me. I I hate to tell you the next chapter name. It's called Life and Death Drarry, which is going to be Monday's topic. Okay. Let's talk about something positive. Halloween is in, oh my goodness, how many days now? It's 11 days? Can you believe that? That's some turkey stuff right there. 11 or 12 days. Wow. That's a lot. That's way too much. Well, guys, be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. If you are not already a subscriber, click my subscribe button down there. I put up a video every single day, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for always being there. I love you guys. You have been amazing, and I love your support. I love hearing your comments and giving me that big thumbs up. You don't have to do that, but thank you for doing that, even if you don't want to comment. Maybe comment down below what you're going to be for Halloween. Or recommend me new like readings you want to hear from me. Whatever, guys. What whatever. What are you talking about? Whatever you guys want, I am here for. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, wait, what am I saying? Whatever you guys want, please let me know. I really would love to hear your suggestions. Follow my Twitter, my both of my Twitters, because one of them is used for questioning people or questioning ethics in the world. Like, why do people judge people that like people like the church says they accept interracial marriages when literally 50 years ago they did not. And they're oppressing gay people, which is really weird. I don't understand that. I don't. I don't really understand. But, anyways, guys, I love you so much. Bye bye.